Hello, good morning. Let's not start off by talking about my blanket. Yes, let's start off by talking about my blanket. I saw that someone had folded a blanket like that on a home interior or something post, a page I follow, and I thought it was so cute, but I don't think that's the right kind of blanket because that's a really soft blanket, a fleece blanket, I guess, and theirs was more like those is one. God, it's so hard when it's backwards. Those is ones. Yeah, but they had it wide at the top and pleated in the center, and then wide at the bottom. And of course, they only had one pillow, but I like my 3 pillows. It doesn't matter. Penny's mostly done with the haircut. Let me tell you, that was an all-day thing just about because, y'all might think this is gross, but whatever. I put her on the countertop, but I covered the countertop with butcher block paper, so there was no hair getting on the countertop, and I still cleaned the countertop afterwards. But it's the perfect height to where I can shave all the top and the legs and all that stuff, and then I could roll her over on the couch on this and do her underneath and her feet because she couldn't stand for her feet to be touched. And I got her face done, and then I just use a roller and get up all the stray hairs that I didn't catch. So anyway, it was an all-day thing, and I still need to trim her ears because I want to give her the little puppy dog cut ears, but she's had enough of me. I'll tell you that right now. She's had enough of me. Also, the funniest thing happened yesterday. I knew that a storm was about to come. I could tell it was brewing, and I said, let's go ahead and go outside so you can go potty before this storm hits, because she don't like going out in the rain. She does not like going out in the wet grass, except for in the mornings when I'm going to work and I have sandals on. Then she's all about the wet grass. But the wet grass in the backyard, no, she don't like that. Anyway, I let her out, and I'm standing right there at the door, and y'all, it was the absolute loudest clap of thunder I have ever heard, I think. Maybe it was because I was actually outside when it happened. Most of them I'm inside. But Penny was just a foot off of the patio. She jumped up and twirled. She did a 180 and landed and looked straight up at the sky and started growling. And then she did her business the fastest that she has ever done it, and she come flying back inside. But it was so funny. And I was like, of all the times I don't have my phone recording, that would have been like America's Funniest Moments or whatever. Because that was funny. Wasn't it funny, girl? Say it was so funny. I still need to work on her face a little bit. It's a little choppy, but she don't care if it's choppy. But look, y'all, she's been running around panting. Because, it's 90-something degrees outside. And even inside, she was panting. And I thought, well, I'm just going to shave her real short. I used a guard. It's not super short. But, it's a lot shorter than it was. How about this morning she's freezing? Can we not get a happy medium here? Huh? Can we not? Because, just the other day, you were acting like you were about to become deceased of heat exhaustion, and now you're running around freezing. Yeah, but that took a lot out of me yesterday. I'm not a professional groomer, so I do the best I can. And then, after I did that first shave, I gave her a bath, and then I continued with her belly and her feet and all that stuff. But yeah, it was a lot. It was just a lot. But I did go to the grocery store yesterday morning and had a couple of funnies. So I just walked through the store like normal, no big deal. And then when I get up to the checkout, I'm not sure what made me or made her talk about this, but I said, well, I don't like people anyway. And she's from Australia, New Zealand, I don't know, somewhere. And she says, oh, I don't either. Really now? I said, well, I tell you what's the truth. I could not do your job because I'd probably lose my job because this mouth is going to clap back. It will just clap back if somebody gets ugly with me. And I worked in a jail too long, y'all. I can't, no. It's just hard for me to control it when you, I mean, if you're just mad because, you know, we don't have eggs, but if you just, like, go out and you're mean to somebody, especially somebody other than me, oh, I've always had that in me that I have to protect and I have to take up for and I have to do all these things. So, yeah, I don't think I could do it. But anyway, then we got to talking, I think the bag boy was probably new, and he picked up the sweet potatoes and the bag broke. I mean, well, you know, the bag tore. Those bags are, like, basically nothing anyway. And he was like, the bag tore, to the checkout clerk. And she was like, well, that's okay. And I said, look, I don't care about the bag on the sweet potatoes. I mainly used it just to transport them here so they wouldn't be rolling all over the cart and we could get them all together. And I said, the only thing I care about is that my eggs make it home without breaking. That's really my biggest concern, is getting home with all my eggs intact, because they are a little pricey to go home and have a bunch of broken eggs. And I really don't want to have to come back up here and exchange them. I know I can, I just don't want to, you know. So anyway, the checkout person, I need to find out her name. What can we call her? We'll call her Betty. I doubt that's her name, but we're going to call her Betty. So Betty says something about the eggs. And I said, well, you know, I'm not complaining about the price of eggs because I'm happy to have them. And look, even though I love chickens, I don't want to spend all that money on the roost, the hen house, whatever you want to call it, for the chickens themselves, for the feed, for the care. I don't want to do all that. So, you know, those are the most expensive eggs ever. It's when you buy all your own stuff. And she goes, yeah, and then have to spend $150 to take one to the vet. And I kind of looked at her and she said, oh, yes, my daughter has chickens. And one of her chickens, unbeknownst to her, has been bullied. Bean. But she didn't know she was being bullied. And she said, so she took her to the vet. And the vet charged $150 to say, your hen is being bullied by the other chickens. So you probably just need to separate her, or maybe move her along to another brood, or another, whatever you want to call them. So we laughed about that, and I said, yeah, they're mean to their own kind. I said, which takes me back to people and why I don't like people. We're mean to our own kind. And I don't mean race or religion or sexual preference. I mean, human beings in general are mean to human beings in general. Yeah. So, yeah, that takes me back to, I don't like people. She just laughed. She said, I don't either. I don't either. That sounds more like the Queen, doesn't it? Probably not, but anyway. And then I walked out to the car, and this tiny little BMW 2-seater car was next to me. It was the absolute coolest looking car. It looked to be brand new. I don't think it's an older model, but like the hood and the windshield and all that stuff was like a little bubble. It looked like a little spaceship. I'm going to see if I can find it. And I'm mouthing to the guy in the car, I love your car. And he rolls down the window. He said, me too. I said, well, it's just really cool looking. And he goes, yeah. And guess what? I said, what? He said, it drives really fast. I said, oh, I bet. I mean, I would either go to jail as a super speeder, which is the thing in Georgia. I don't know if it is anywhere else. But if you're 20 over, you can go to jail for speeding, being a super speeder. Yeah. Or, other than going to jail, I would become deceased, because I do like to drive fast when I have the ability, you know, like when there's a wide open road and ain't nobody near. I would like to open it up, yeah. I mean, I've matured some, especially now that I watch all these chase videos on YouTube. Yeah. No, I don't want to be in a wreck going 120 miles an hour like some of these fools. That's a story for another day, but why are you in a chase, in a vehicle, going 120, 130 miles an hour in traffic and not wearing your seatbelt? I mean, I don't know if a seatbelt would help at 130, but it most certainly would not hurt. And they're usually ejected from their vehicle. Imagine that. And they're usually found yards and yards away. I don't know how many yards, but a lot. A long way. They're a long way, yeah. And then the last quickie, I saw something on a video where this person had stolen a pair of like designer sunglasses from this store, and then security got after them, and this person thought it would be a wise decision to jump at the mall, and at the bottom, at the lowest level of the mall, there was an ice rink, and he landed on the ice rink and pretty much shattered both of his legs. I mean, his legs were going at a weird angle. And it reminded me of a jail story of this woman that we have 2 tiers in the jail. And it's a lot of steps going up those from the bottom tier to the top tier. And then she got on the railing, which was probably another 4 feet. So she was probably at least 20 feet up in the air, at least, probably more. And she jumped. And the reason she jumped was because she was an addict and she wanted some drugs. And she thought, oh, maybe if I, hurt myself a little bit. But you can't jump from that high and land on your feet and get up and walk away. I mean, you just can't. She shattered both of her legs, the ankles, and because she was an addict, they didn't give her any pain meds. Oh! I mean, they may have given her something, but no, she was not given pain meds like that. I'm sure they did something when they had to do surgery, but, ooh, yeesh. Don't jump. Don't jump. Anyway, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. We hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy. I'll talk to you on the next one, okay? Toodles!